Now, listen, here's a fight that I think you need to get involved in. Buttigieg is very interested in California's ban on new gas cars. He's like, that is really interesting. And I've noticed a couple of states have already joined in on that. And if there's more states that join in, I mean, maybe we should just make this a national policy. Ladies and gentlemen, Kabuki Theater. Here's what's happening. Somehow or another, and I find this phenomenal. Somehow or another, without you really participating in it and no vote from you, 17 states decided, you know what? Whatever California does, hey, hang 10. We're surfing with ya. 17 states. Now, you're going to be surprised at some of these states because, I mean, I wouldn't have seen this coming. Colorado, how did that happen? Connecticut, right? Delaware, completely conservative. Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. What a surprise. They all signed in their own legislatures. They all signed on to whatever California EPA standards are. They must adopt those same standards. So Buttigieg is playing his little kabuki theater going, and if other states start to do this, maybe it was already in the cards. Whatever California does, those states have to do. Did you vote for that? If you're in New York, did you vote for that? Did you vote for California standards? So now New York will have, they may not have announced it yet, but they have signed on to California's emission standards. So you are now going to, mark my words, no, this is a conspiracy theory. Is it? Is it? Ask Virginia. Why is Virginia signed up on this? Washington came out, yeah, we're with them. Yeah, so are the other 17. But let's roll them out slowly so it seems like a movement instead of a hijacking of our republic.
Why would you do that? I can't even think of a reason why.
Because you're corrupt.
Virginia would say, yeah, whatever California does, that's good for us.
Yeah, they're corrupt.
Yeah,
your politicians
obviously
were all left-wing politicians that were corrupt. Jeez. And they're all in it. They're like, yeah, cars, bad. Gasoline, bad. Oil, bad. Electricity, bad. And so they're all signed up. This is another step in ESG. Because here's what's going to happen. When you have, let's just say, these 17 states, and they say, nope, no more gasoline cars to 2035. And it's a phase-in, by the way. It's like 35% of all cars have to be...
By 2026.
Yeah. 25%, I think.
By 2026. I think it is 25.
25%. Mm-hmm. In Virginia, it's about 4% of car sales. And in the California emissions bill, they penalize any of the car dealerships and the car companies if they sell more than the allotted amount of gasoline cars, and they don't hit the number of electric cars.
And they're not going to. They're not going to.
Oh, I think they'll be giving those things away. They'll have to hit that, Pat. They have to hit that. I mean, this is a hijacking. Well, we told you, this is not capitalism anymore. By the way, if you think you live in a free country, you don't. You live in a soft authoritarian state. Right now, it's still soft, but it's an authoritarian state. How could you say that? Well, did you vote for that? If you're listening to me and you're one of those 17 states, did you vote for that? No. That was a cabal of environmentalists that all got together, got their money, and went from state to state that were like-minded, pitched it, and said, here's how we cripple it.
Did you see the video we played today about what it takes to make an electric vehicle?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Can we play it?
Yeah, let's go. It's cut 13. The truth about electric vehicles.
Go all electric by 2035. Is it practical to do it now?
Well, we can make this whole discussion easy with the two-letter word, no. There's no such thing, of course, as a zero-emissions vehicle. The real question is, where are the emissions associated with the electric car? Because what you do with an electric vehicle is you don't eliminate emissions, you export them somewhere else. You have to dig up about 500,000 pounds of materials to make a single 1,000-pound battery. It takes 100 to 300 barrels of oil to manufacture a battery that can hold 1 barrel of oil equivalent of energy. Just manufacturing the battery can have a carbon debt ranging from 10 tons to 40 tons of CO2. And the plans that are in place to increase the use of batteries will require an increase in production of minerals like lithium, cobalt, zinc. Demand for those minerals will increase between 400% and 4,000%. There isn't enough mining in the world to make enough batteries for that many people for their car.
Nobody thinks about that. Nobody talks about that. Have you heard those stats?
No.
500,000 tons of material goes in to make one of those vehicles?
We should look up the stats. I saw this stat the other day, and I don't want to quote it because I know I'll get it wrong. But the stats of batteries that have to be replaced by 2030 and what you're going to do with all of those batteries.
Yeah, where are you going to put them?
What do you do?
When you're done with them, where do they go?
Yeah.
Because they're not environmentally friendly.
You know what this is? What was the name of the that ugly, ugly car? Not the ZIL from the Soviet Union. They sold them everywhere behind the Iron Curtain. And now they made this super, super economical, great for everything shell of a body. Mm-hmm. And now the cars are gone. But they cannot reuse the bodies of those cars. They can't destroy them. They can't reuse them. So all over the former Soviet Union are these gigantic stacks of just the bodies of these cars. I mean,
that's the kind of thing we're going to be seeing.
Because that's state top-down thinking.
And nobody thought it through.
No. By the way, if you're in one of these states, you are suing the states that are following California. You have Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. There's a couple of missing states there, but a glaring one is Florida. These are the people that filed a lawsuit in May, before any of us were aware of it, challenging California's ability to depart from federal emission standards and implement its own vehicle emission standard and zero emissions goals. 17 states are suing. 17 states are already on board on the other side. No, we're not headed for any kind of trouble or disorder at all.